Hi, my name is Colin Degnore, and for my ARP project, I chose to research the question, what treatments and practices currently exist to prevent the psychological and physical effects of depression in 15 to 25-year-olds? I chose to research this topic due to depression being very prevalent in this age group specifically, and is also the leading cause of suicide. Suicide is the cause of death for tens of thousands of Americans every year, but with that number, they affect a countless number of individuals behind. Depression is described as a lack of will to live or enjoy life, along with feelings of being worthless. It's estimated that 15% of the adult population will experience depression at some point in their lifetime. 300 million people around the world have depression, according to the World Health Organization. Depression can come in all different forms and can affect everyone differently. Some people experience trouble making easy decisions, significant gain or loss of weight, sleep issues, mood swings, suicidal thoughts, or even committing suicide. Here I have two graphs. Each show the prevalence of a major depressive episode for teens and adults. Specifically between these two, I focused on the 15 to 25-year-old age gap. A major depressive episode is the most common out of all different types of depression. Some individuals may only have one of these episodes, or it will be something that haunts them for the rest of their lives. The symptoms last often for weeks or even months. Individuals around you cannot impact your emotions, no matter how hard they try. This is a very difficult time to overcome, no matter how much or how little one has. Here I've listed two of the more common causes for depression, while also listing two of the common coping methods that I've focused on throughout this last year and a half. Depression can be brought upon people in many different ways, but one particular study that I read stands out to me, that being through genetics. I looked into a study by Professor Klaus Peter Lesch, and in his research and tests, he found that there is a repeat polymorphism in the 5' transcriptional control region of the 5-HTT gene, also known as the 5-HTT-LPR. This gene is responsible for personality traits, emotions, directly correlating to depression and anxiety in individuals. Secondly, I found that another common cause for depression was environment. If an individual is in an unsafe household, that can lead to serious traumatic experiences, especially later on in their lifetime, especially if they have an abusive parent or sibling. Another way environment can lead to depression is if one or more individuals in that household has depression. Although it may not seem like it, individuals' emotions directly correlate to each other. A positive environment is always best, especially for children who are younger. Psychotherapy is one form of treatment for depression. It's also one of the most common and well-known practices. Psychotherapy is your typical therapy session and is the most known treatment. Individuals are able to go to therapists for anything they need. Psychotherapy consists of one-on-one meetings with a couple of people, or even in a large group where a therapist isn't present. This practice is so effective due to the strong relationship built between therapist and the individual. After time, individuals feel comfortable enough to really open up to these therapists or others and get all of their emotions out. Lastly, resiliency was a new topic that Dr. Andersma introduced me to the start of this year, and I spent a majority of the school year researching it. I never heard of resiliency before this year. I had only known of adversity, which is a very similar concept. The Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines resiliency as the ability to recover from or adjust easily to adversity or change. There are different programs available to the public in order to grow their resiliency, one of which is the UPenn resiliency classes. These classes are organized by the University of Pennsylvania. These classes target 21 different skill sets while focusing on 6 specific character trait skills, such as self-awareness, self-regulation, mental agility, strengths of character, connection, and optimism. These classes can be one-on-one or in groups. The other program is also by UPenn. This is called PERMA. UPenn describes their PERMA workshop as a program that allows individuals to flourish and thrive, instead of just surviving. PERMA is an acronym that stands for Positive Emotion, Engagement, Relationships, Meaning, and Accomplishments. These 5 main points of their program contribute to the well-being of individuals. These points are pursued for their own sake, They're also measured independently of the other elements. Individuals can practice one or all 5, whatever fits their needs. Lastly, I would like to thank my teachers, Ms. Shanaz Manwala and Mrs. Michelle Andersma, for helping me throughout this process, whether it was showing me new topics and information sites, or reviewing my writing to make it the best it can be. I'd also like to take time to thank my parents for encouraging me to research this topic. They were very supportive throughout this last year and a half.